Still hanging in there? Good. Now, how appropriate is it that this is the 4th in my Oh My Goth game reviews? 'Cause we're gonna delve right into, Super Castlevania 4. Oh no, not another cartridge game! But oh yes, the SNES, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, is quite possibly my favorite console of all time. No joke. Followed closely by the PlayStation 2. If you have one, still, play this game. Okay, so remember how the original Castlevania made you want to end your TV set? Or at least your controller, when you friggin' like baseball pitched it into the screen. Well, it's one of the most beloved games of all time. To me, it's one of the most beloved games of infinite frustration. Well, Super 4 is essentially the original, but it's a little bit easier. It's kind of like when Devil May Cry 3 was released, and it was released with the normal settings, like the Japanese version of hard mode, so they had to, that's why they released the special edition, because the special edition is actually the game tweaked. It's like fixed, so that it has the other setting. But this game is still quite nearly as difficult, but definitely for those who've never been able to get through the original, yeah, say hello to your easy mode, or normal mode in some circles. It's made of all the wonderfully freaky, often random elements that make us love this franchise. The 2D side-scrolling, the puzzles, the animated corpses, well, vampires. I know I love vampires. Wearing a vampire-themed t-shirt. Can't really see it. A good big vampire bat on it. Says I leave bite marks. Oh, and those horse heads. You know, these little ghostly horse heads. Yeah. And the boss fights that make no sense, but we forgive that. Nostalgia. No, I love the Super Nintendo. On any rubric, this game, this awesome, amazing game, I love this game. It scores high. I mean, oops, am I about to reference Game Informer again? I am. Though this game did not make the cut, it was considered for their 200 greatest games of all time list, which, no surprise, was featured in the 200th issue. And here's no exception. You know, why am I giving it 5 out of 5 bats? Because this game appeals to practically anyone. If you love good old gaming times with your NES or your SNES, you will love this. It makes you feel all nostalgic, you know. You don't even have to be goth. And if you're goth, you don't even have to be a gamer. Now that's saying something. 'Cause screw that, I'm not even reading off of it. Because, I mean, there's so many Castlevania games and so many different styles of them, so I mean, and I know I mentioned in the previous video that the whole 3D thing, you know, I didn't mean like 3D, it's coming at ya. I meant, you know, the games are usually 2D, you know. If you play any of the games for like Game Boy Advance or like the DS, Game Boy Advance, what's that? What am I talking about? I totally play Resident Evil Gaiden today, no joke. They're usually 2D, so that's why it's kind of like, oh, 3D, because they're kind of moving into that. I'm really looking forward to the new Castlevania that hasn't come out yet. I don't actually know when it's coming out, but I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't played the new one for the 3DS yet. I'm not a big 3DS fan, unless it's Resident Evil Revelations, because I believe it's like one of the greatest games I've ever played, but I'm not, you know, I didn't make this video to talk about that. Super 4. go pick this up at like one of those little throwback stores, you know, that sells like old games and stuff, you know. This one I got because I had an old copy, but I lost it, and so I found this one. It says it's $17.99, but I did not pay that. It's kind of funny, the store that I got this at, they label everything a certain price, but then it comes up in the system as like however much they'd pay you if like you brought it to them. So I've gotten, you know, $50 games for like $8. So yeah, be sure to check it out. It's great. And you know what? Just for the hell of it, check out Castlevania 64 while you're at it. If you're lucky enough to find the other version of this, go with that one, because whereas they both suck, that one sucks a little bit less. Well, I mean, obviously it sucks. It's about vampires, but I mean, it's not as lousy. It's not as much of a gaming crap bag as this. But I still love it. You know, it's horrible, it's horrendous, but I love it. So I recommend it to people who can appreciate those little things as like, oh, it's gothly delicious. Fails as a game, but I kind of like it. Well, I kind of love it. So on that note, you know,